Hello, good afternoon. This is Jacob Wheeler with Red Rock Roofing, standing for greatness. Today, I'm over here at 3308, doing a quick roof inspection here for Greg Robbins. Thank you so much, Greg, for allowing us to come out here and check out the house and the roof here in Greeley. Moving on, I always want to take a look at the outside of the house as a whole to get started. Everything's looking pretty good. As I make my way up the ladder, first things that I want to point out is just by looking inside of the guttering system here. If you take a look here, especially kind of more over here on this end, you'll see this sand-like substance. What that's known as is granules. What that is telling me the age, wear, and tear of the roof. Generally, when I come up here and look at a guttering system, I see quite a bit of those granules if the roof is a little bit older and rough shape. Good start so far, because that looks like you have very few and minor amount of granules. But as a whole, let's take a look at the roof. So the first thing that any insurance adjuster will look at when they come up here on the roof is what's called collateral damage. Collateral damage is specifically when hail hits the soft metals up here on the roof, indicating that hail damage was essentially up here. I went ahead and chalked this area up here first, just so you can see that there is evidence of collateral damage up here on the roof. So that's a good first sign. Next thing though that I would be looking for is what's called spalling. Spalling is when hail hits the shingle, dislodges the granules, showing the matting underneath the fiberglass. Now, I went ahead and created a test square here, approximately 10 feet by 10 feet, looking for hail damage. I'm usually looking for about 6 to 10 hits to qualify for an insurance replacement. Now, as you see here, I don't have any hits. I did want to point out what some damage on the shingle looks like, because this is the only spot that I really found on the shingle. Realistically, your shingle's held up very well. If you take a closer look to about here, you can see some of that fiberglass just above my finger here. And what that is actually a manufacturer defect, or even something when it was installed incorrectly possibly, or someone hit it with a hammer or tool or something of that nature. I don't think that's hail damage specifically, just because it's more of a square shape. Other than that though, your roof as a whole is a total pass. I give this roof plenty of life left, at least a good 15-20 years, unless we get a very bad hailstorm. So if you do get a hailstorm, definitely let us know. We can come back out here and check it out for any of that spalling we're talking about. A couple other things that I do want to point out about this roof, both the good and the bad. The good news is that the roof is in overall good shape, and I'm not finding any kind of thermal cracking, which is basically a sign indicator that you don't have enough ventilation. I am, however, noticing that you have about 4 vents total for the entirety of the house. That's really not efficient for your house. It's probably going to keep this house rather hot during the summers and a little bit colder during the winters, so definitely not the best case scenario. This roof, if you did get a roof replacement, would actually be a fantastic candidate for what's called a ridge vent system. What that is a ridge vent system that would actually go the entire ridge of this house, which will be as effective as about 17 times as one of these guys here. So definitely suggest that if you guys end up re-roofing the house, but I don't think that you necessarily need that. Now for a couple things that I did notice that were a couple small issues, want to point out. The biggest one is this area here where the antenna was set up. If you take a look here, I put some arrows. All of the silicone around all of these migration points for water are just deteriorated. So unfortunately, water does have a chance to migrate down in here. Just some simple silicone could really get that squared away, and I definitely suggest it before we get some more bad weather. Secondly, if you notice over here, you do have it shingled over in this flat roof section. Normally when you have a flat roof like this, by code, you want to use a flat roofing material, or a modified bitumen essentially for that. Not that it's necessarily wrong, but if we were to re-roof the system, I would definitely want to put flat roofing material on here just to make sure that you have the best possible scenario for this roof and the life of it. Other than that, the roof is looking like it's in good shape. Like I said, I think that you have plenty of life left on this roof. Jacob Wheeler, Red Rock Roofing, standing for greatness. Hope you guys have a very blessed day.